As I was trying to write this speech today, I was called away to do some photographs, so I'm going to be making it up as I go along. I'll try not to be funnier than the last guy. But my FAST approach, and what I want to tell you about is, FAST is about increasing our focus, accountability, simplicity and transparency, and how we can use that to achieve truly astounding results. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is how I've used FAST to build a Twitter following, and I did it in 12 months, that took me from basically unknown to the #1 leadership expert on Twitter. By using that content, that influence, and that following, that got me into Inc. magazine as the top 100 great leadership experts. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is how I've used focus. And we need to be focused on engagement. We don't need to be focused on building a following, because if you have 1 million followers and no engagement, that's the same as no followers. Accountability, you need to know what you can do, what you have to do, what you can automate and outsource. Simplicity, we need a repeatable process that we can explain to people so that they can go and do it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And then the last part of FAST is transparency, which is about having visibility into our performance and our progress. And with Twitter, there are tons of tools that you can use: Twitterland, Unfollowers, Community, or Twitter Analytics, to understand how we're performing. So now we're going to go back to simplicity, to how you build an insatiable tribe. And there are really 5 components to it. Okay, the first component is about building a following. Second component is about content. Content is king. Content is key. The next is hashtags. And then it's about tweeting. And then it's engagement. So I'm going to start by telling you how you can build a following on Twitter. One of the challenges of doing that is I have this huge following, but I have no content now. And if you have no content, there's no engagement, and you don't really have any following. You just have some people who are sat waiting for you. So now what you need to do is you need to start providing content. And the content has to be great content. And where are you going to get great content from? Anybody heard of something called Google? Yeah, Google's full of great content. The #1 thing I found that people love to see is quotes. So I know what you're thinking, but that's not your material, Gordon. Doesn't matter. I tweet it, it's mine. People recognise it as my content. I can tweet to be or not to be, and I can put William Shakespeare, and people will write back to me going, I love your words. Which is really good. I love tweeting stuff from Shakespeare because it kind of, I didn't do very well in English, so I'm kind of, I use that to offset my poor performance. So, and when you tweet 100 times a day, that sounds a lot, but it's only 4 to 5 times an hour, once every 15 minutes. Yeah, I know what you're saying, I know what you're thinking, but you have to bear in mind, every second there's 6,000 tweets, 6,000 tweets. My tweet's top of the pile, it's bottom of the pile. Top of the pile, bottom of the pile. Only 1% of my following see my tweets, which I'd like it to be higher, but I'm also happy that it's 1% because it allows me to retweet the same stuff every single week or every single month because people don't see it. And let me tell you, if somebody comes back to me after 2 months and says, just a second, I've read all of your tweets and you've repeated them, that's a stalker. That's a stalker. And get them off your list. And when you follow this approach, and not only have I done it for myself, I've also done it for colleagues and clients, it took me 9 months to build a following of 80,000. And that's how I got on to be a #1 leadership expert to follow on Twitter. And that's based on retweets and engagement. And that got me noticed for all the content that I produced and got me into Inc. magazine as top 100 leadership expert. And it took my blog, because I was now using this network to share my content, took my blog to the #4 most shared blog. So... If you follow my fast approach, you will build a following fast. Thank you.
What's up, what's up? Welcome to the Boss Ladies Live Radio Show, Spreaker Studios, sponsored by Boss Ladies Inc. Jam X, Boss Fight, off the Magix app, mixed by your girl DJ D-Ski. Let's get it, y'all. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me.
lambi 탕주가 카몬 제가 대왕 마야 치카라 창듯한 대왕 놓고네 리가라 졸라 플라가 한마리 타살리가리 lambi 탕주가 카몬 제가 대왕 마야 치카라 창듯한 대왕 놓고네 리가라 졸라 플라가 한마리 타살리가리 lambi 탕주가 카몬 제가 대왕 마야 치카라 창듯한 대왕 놓고네
Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. When someone is going through a rough time, just sit with them. No preaching, no advice, just be there. Jam with me. You wanna jam with me? Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. Jam with me. Come on and jam with me. Jam with me. Jam with me. Come on and jam with me. See, one thing about me, you don't have to play for my team for me to want to see you win. Hashtag 100.
Right. You know it. Running your mouth, cause I rhyme tight 24/7, 365. Waited too long, now it's my shine. I'm stunning when I'm running in the limelight. You steady running your mouth, cause I rhyme tight 24/7, 365. I know what they want, I know what they want. I know what they want, I know what they want. I know what they want, I know what they want. Oh, see, pain the track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without a team. Fast and slow, bro, you can't catch me though. Too fast, too furious, too hungry for y'all. See, pain the track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without a team. Fast and slow, bro, you can't catch me though. Too fast, too furious, too hungry for y'all. See, pain the track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without a team. Fast and slow, bro, you can't catch me though. Too fast, too furious, too hungry for y'all. See, pain the track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without a team. Fast and slow, bro, you can't catch me though. Too fast, too furious, too hungry for y'all. See, pain the track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without. The track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without a team. Fast and slow, bro, you can't catch me though. Too fast, too furious, too hungry for y'all. See, pain the track when I step on the scene. I do or die all my life with or without a team. Fast and slow, bro, you can't catch me though. Too fast, too furious, too hungry for y'all. See. Work on it. I put in 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 work on the bass. Put in work on it. I put in work on the bass. Put in work on it. I put in work on the bass. I put in work on it. I put in work on the bass. Put in work on it. I put in work on the bass. Put in work on the bass. Put in work on the bass. I put in work on the bass. What's up?
work on it. I put in work on the bass. Put in work on it. I put in work on the bass. Bass, 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 bass. Put in work on it. I 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 put in work on it. Work on the bass.
Miss Fabulous, heard it all before. Up next, Blessed All Rounder Productions featuring Miss K Lady.
I almost wrote that note, tied that rope around my throat. Suicide almost become my friend. So glad I didn't. Look at me today, up on the stage, shining through, shining through. I'm blessed to be writing my lyrics, breathing these breaths that I'm breathing, yeah. Being on the beat, yeah, the best of the beats. My heart rate boosts my test. Remembering to stay blessed, yeah. I breathe to breathe, I got the life I prayed, yeah, the life I prayed. They tried to break me down, the pains, yeah, like needles I felt, an ugly spellbound. Finding great joy when I step to the mic. They cannot push me to the limits I've already tried, yeah. Fear, but I'd always come back, sitting on army barracks, soldiering on the tracks, got the fire, the weapons, mass attacks, back at the hate cast, yeah. I'm blessed to be writing my lyrics, breathing these breaths that I'm breathing, yeah. Being on the beat, yeah, the best of the beats. My heart rate boosts my test. Remembering to stay blessed, yeah. I breathe to breathe, I got the life I prayed, yeah, the life I prayed. Looking back at that mirror image, telling me why I'm here, how I've overcome the scars and the fear, from the emotional times into the peers, yeah, to the sparkle in the sky. Wow. Finding great joy when they step to the mic. They cannot push me to the limits, yeah. They cannot push me to the top of the crap, cause I'm here to climb the rank. Never conform with the hate, you know. No, outside or inside, doesn't matter, but outsiders do it better. Yeah, they do it better. See those molds? I'll break those. I'm blessed, bless them. I'm blessed to be writing my lyrics, breathing these breaths that I'm breathing, yeah. Being on the beat, yeah, the best of the beats. My heart rate boosts my test. Remembering to stay blessed, yeah. I breathe to breathe, I got the life I prayed, yeah, the life I prayed. I'm blessed to be writing my lyrics, breathing these breaths that I'm breathing, yeah. Being on the beat, yeah, the best of the beats. My heart rate boosts my test. Remembering to stay blessed, yeah. I breathe to breathe, I gotta do it better. See those molds? I'll break those. I'm blessed, bless them.
Coming straight out of the Milltown, Midwest exclusive, Justin Sims, My Blue Moon exclusive right here on the Boss Ladies Radio Show. Check it out.
It's been a minute, missing makeup on my face from the makeups that we make. But these pretty girls I hate. I've been drinking, it don't make me feel the same. I wish I never knew this pain, but I'm so glad I knew your name. Now you're gone, I'm holding on to these memories we made. Know what they say, all these memories they fade. I've been thinking about the ones we can create. How you just gonna walk away? Fuck. Shit, know what I did, but I ain't mean to do that shit. But listen here, I'm hoping I can make this clear. I'm sorry. I've been drinking, I've been smoking, I've been vibing in the mode, feeling low. You've been drinking, you've been smoking, you don't give a fuck no more. These niggas cold, yeah. Pick up the phone, tell me what you want, I'ma come through. Just wanna love you, if you want to. What can I do? You're once in a lifetime, we ended too soon. You're my blue moon.
Purchase your tracks today.
I'm in a better state. Mine used to be a trap, now I use it as a getaway. Thinking about the better days ever since I put that pen to paper. Now I'm turning paper into paper. Can I get an amen for the people with the prayer hands? Keep my name in your mouth, promise that I'll see you soon. I'm in LA trying to make a band. Pops couldn't pump the brakes, so he got a Benz. Moms couldn't pay the rent, so she got a crib. Lately, got a lot on my mind, so the dread's heavy. Seen a lot through the blinds, but I've been ready. See my shot, so it's time that I stay steady. Lord. Always knew, I never knew what life could be for me and you. So I take my time, I played it cool. Cause life for me is seeing you. The dreams we had, impossible. Cause side by side ain't no obstacles. You trust in me, I trust in you. Side by side, we're unstoppable. I've been drinking, I've been smoking, I've been vibing in the mode, feeling low. You've been drinking, you've been smoking, you don't give a fuck no more. These niggas cold, yeah. Pick up the phone, tell me what you want, I'ma come through. Just wanna love you, if you want to. What can I do? You're once in a lifetime. We ended too soon. You're my blue moon.
Purchase your tracks today.
Thanks for that submission, Mr. Justin. Up next, more all-natural jingle by Serta.
Rock with me, bow to go sit to me, And did I say she got sheen too? Got my inches looking like ooh. Got this more oil sheen.
Oh yeah, I just love the way she just sings that song. Like, if we really believe that we can do anything, and it ain't about body butter, it's about everything in your life. We're gonna talk about that tonight. Pick your chaos. I've come to terms with the fact that my future might not involve people I'm around now. I get tired of doing this every time I try something new. Sometimes I had to walk away from what I want to find what I deserve. I made mistakes in my life. I've learned from my bad choices. I'll know better next time. Don't mention a person's past mistakes when they're trying to change. That's like throwing rocks at them while they're struggling to climb a mountain. Yeah, let's talk about that. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Boss Ladies Live Radio Show, award-winning now. Springer Studios, sponsored by Boss Ladies Inc. Welcome back to another show. Thanks for everybody that's tuning in, especially tonight's spirituality series. I know I said 6 p.m., but I had to modify it because I've been a hard-working lady lately. So I thought I'd get on at 9 p.m. Had to give me a little rest because, like I said, I've been working a lot of hours. There's been talks at the job about walking off. I don't know what's going on. So, not to be busting nobody out, but I have been called to be in a leader role at my job, which is awesome because now I can get to display the principles that I've been learning the last few years that I've been in leadership. We are on the Boss Lady Show, the leadership podcast, life, love, and leadership, all topics, all walks of life, love and dating, relationships, leadership principles, business tips, entrepreneurship, leverage, and also financial tips as well, coming from the financial fitness that I'm a part of. But particularly tonight, I just want to say thank you to everybody that has also been here from day one. If you're just tuning in, welcome. If you've been tuning in, welcome back. If you can't catch the show, you know it's always pre-recorded after 10 p.m. I want to stick with my Sundays at 6, but if I don't have days off and I'm not getting plenty of rest, it's not going to be feasible to get on the air. I want to be sharp. I want to be ready to go and things like that, like you always expect me to be. So I do appreciate you being patient with me with these different times, different days, stuff like that, because I work nights, so it kind of ties into the podcast. But when I get a free day or a free night, I will be on live. So I do appreciate your patience and participation in the Boss Ladies Radio Show, award winning. If you haven't found out yet, I'm up for nominations. I'm nominated for 1 vote for Best Radio Host of the Year, and I'm also being nominated for Best Radio Podcast of the Year. Go to www.undergroundmusicawards.net. That's www.undergroundmusicawards.net. Vote as many times as you like, but make sure those 2 separate votes. So 1 vote is for Best Host of the Year, Radio Host of the Year, and Best Radio Podcast Station of the Year. You'll see Boss Lady in the categories. Just click on that right tab, go to categories. It'll list all the artists, all the radio stations that is participating in the Underground Music Awards 2019. Shout out to BMO Magazine. Send Bernard Moore a friend request on Facebook. Inbox him for more information on how you can be a participant. The spots are filled for performances, but if you just want to bring some friends and family to come out to support your indie artists worldwide, please do so. We want to pack the house November 16th, 2019 at the College Park and Atlanta, Georgia, College Park Airport Arena. So we will be in the building that day. So you don't want to miss it. And we have a special guest. Tune into Announcement Season 3. That'll give you all the details on how to get there, the tickets, and also the location. So stay tuned for more actual announcements before we end Season 3. Because there might be some things coming up that I didn't get to mention on the last show. But definitely for those so far announcements, you can check out Announcement Season 3 on the Boss Ladies Radio Show or Boss Lady Show. Just look for announcements, click on it, leave a comment, I'll send you a shout out. I'm also doing pre-recorded shows, so if you can tune in at a 9 p.m., cool. 9 p.m. is only for live, Sundays at 6 is only for live. Or you can tune in on demand on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Castbox. We do over 7,000 listeners a month, so it's not like you can't get in tune with a lot of people. If you haven't heard the word, we are motivated to move forward and on to the next level. With that, particularly tonight, I want to talk about Pick Your Chaos. I've noticed over the last few months that a lot of people are being distracted by a lot of negative things. And people are also distracted by what other people think. In leadership and teams and building things. You're doing something new, or you putting your best foot forward, and you're dealing with the ruck and the mire of getting to your purpose, or stepping into your purpose, I should say. Well, that's what comes with that, especially in business, leadership, friendships, relationships. Obstacles are going to come. We can't avoid them. But there's ways on how to handle those situations. And I wrote a few things down. It's a limit to amount of chaos that you want to put up with. It's also about, it's a limit to what you're going to tolerate as far as is it really bringing value or it's not. And the ones that is not bringing value, need to cut it off the list, cut off the phone. You might have to change your number or your address depending on how big the chaos is. But you got to cut it and set a limit to it. The next thing, set some boundary for yourself. Like when you're getting into something, know what your limitations are. Know what your boundaries are and share them with others. Other people that may have come to you for different types of reasons. And we will be talking about that in EDU. Don't lose yourself in the battle. Stay who you are. Focus on what's more important. You moving forward or staying stuck in the same rut that you've always been in for X amount of years. And I know it's not easy, but it's worth it if you stay consistent, you guys. Consistency is key. I wouldn't have got nominated twice this year and once last year if I didn't understand the purpose of consistency. I can't say it enough. And then rise above it. Okay, it happened. It didn't work out the way you planned it. Move on to the next thing. Life is too short to be so negative and taking so many things personal and letting negative people get on your nerves. And you got to let toxic people go. But we'll learn how successful people and leaders do that And be aware of emotional attachments. Are they attached to you because they're mad at you? Or are they attached to you because you got something they want? Did they get in your business because they want to make you happy? Find out what's really going on. And once you start paying attention, they will show you without even telling you what's going on. Because remember, body language is 90% of communication. Focus on more solutions. I'm really going to be honest here. I'm kind of tired of talking to people that I can party with, stay out all night with, but can't be successful with. So I guess it stops with the party. And once the party's over, you're gone. So I know not to focus so much time on you. I need to focus on people that really want to get together and do this thing. Really want to make some changes in their life and stick to it. Be more consistent and make it a positive environment for their children, their family, and their friends and themselves. But it all starts with you. Real change starts from within. You can't sit around people that don't want to change and think they're going to change because of your positivity. That's not enough. People on their own, some of that got to do with you and how much you want to change. And then always remember, okay, he hurt me, she hurt me, they did me wrong, but I forgive them because forgiveness is for you, not them. Squash negative talk. You hear that so many times, that means you're getting caught up again, and it's time to change the scene. I have been taking a break from staying off the phone, less conversations about, small talk versus conversations about getting our numbers up. I've even been talking about that at the job I work at. Their main goal, and for hiring me, was to get the numbers up so their store can survive. Also, with my team, if you're listening, let's focus on getting our numbers up. We can't focus on getting our numbers up if we're worried about Susie Q over there, Frankie Beverly over there. No disrespect, but I'm just using names as an example. And we can't be worried about what's going on in the background because it's a reason why it's behind you or it's in back of you because it's behind you. Let's focus on what's important. Do we want a better life in our finances? Do we want a better life in our professional life? Do we want a better life in our personal areas? Yes. If that's a yes, then that's what our focus should be. Not what so-and-so is saying about me. Not what so-and-so is doing negative over there. Turn that TV off sometimes and read a book. Reflect on something else besides what you've been reflecting on. And boy, will you see some changes. Get some sleep. I know today, Sundays, if I'm off work, I go to sleep so I can rejuvenate and get some new energy and actually let go of the stress of the week. And then use your support system. If you got people backing you up and you need somebody to confide in and talk to, call. Call your life coaches. Call your teammates. Call them with some new ideas and some new perspectives and learn from one another. And on that note, let's get some EDU in our lives, y'all. How successful people handle toxic people. And we're going to find that at www.forbes.com/site/Travis Bradberry /2010/10/21/how-successful-people-handle-toxic-people. And it says, toxic people defy logic. Some are blissfully unaware of the negative impact that they have on those around them, and others seem to derive satisfaction from creating chaos and pushing other people's buttons. Either way, they create unnecessary complexity, strife, and worst of all, stress. Studies have shown that stress can have a lasting negative impact on the brain. Exposure to even a few days of stress compromises the effectiveness of neurons in the hippocampus, an important brain area responsible for reasoning and memory. Weeks of stress cause reversible damage to neuronal dendrites, the small arms that brain cells use to communicate with each other, and months of stress can permanently destroy neurons. Stress is a formidable threat to your success. When stress gets out of control, your brain and your performance suffer. And I've been noticing that with my teammates. I've been noticing that with friends. I've been getting a lot of calls about stress. So we need to calm it down and figure out some more stuff. But we're going to tell you how to do that. Most sources of stress at work are easy to identify. If your nonprofit is working to land a grant that your organization needs to function, you're bound to feel stress and likely know how to manage it. It's the unexpected sources of stress that take you by surprise and harm you the most. Recent research from the Department of Biological and Clinical Psychology at Friedrich Schiller University in Germany found that exposure to stimuli that cause strong negative emotions, the same kind of exposure you get when dealing with toxic people, cause subjects' brains to have a massive stress response. Whether it's negativity, cruelty, the victim syndrome, or just plain craziness, toxic people drive your brain into a stressed out state that should be avoided at all costs. The ability to manage your emotions and remain calm under pressure has a direct link to your performance. TalentSmart has conducted research with more than 1 million people, and we found that 90% of top performers are skilled at managing their emotions in times of stress in order to remain calm and in control. One of their greatest gifts is the ability to neutralize toxic people. Top performers have well-honed coping strategies that they employ to keep toxic people at bay. You may also like surprising tips to help employees succeed in new roles. Family-friendly policies, a winning investment for children and society. Why cardiac arrest is more likely to kill women than men, and what we're going to do about it. While I've run across numerous effective strategies that successful people employ when dealing with toxic people, what follows are 12 of the best. To deal with toxic people effectively, you need an approach that enables you, across the board, to control what you can and eliminate what you can't. The important thing to remember is that you are in control of far more than you realize. They set limits, especially with complainers. Complainers and negative people are bad news because they wallow in their problems and fail to focus on solutions. They want people to join their pity party so that they can feel better about themselves. People often feel pressure to listen to complainers because they don't want to be seen as callous or rude. But there's a fine line between lending a sympathetic ear and getting sucked into their negative emotional spiral. The Forbes ebook of motivational quotes. Discover the timeless advice that the world's greatest thinkers, billionaires, writers, and business people have to offer. You can avoid this only by setting limits and distancing yourself when necessary. Think of it this way. If the complainer were smoking, would you sit there all afternoon inhaling the secondhand smoke? You distance yourself, and you should do the same with complainers. A great way to set limits is to ask complainers how they intend to fix the problem. They will either quiet down or redirect the conversation in a productive direction. They don't die in the fight. Successful people know how important it is to live to fight another day, especially when your foe is a toxic individual. In conflict, unchecked emotion makes you dig your heels in and fight the kind of battle that can leave you severely damaged. When you read and respond to your emotions, you're able to choose your battles wisely and only stand your ground when the time is right. The rise above. Toxic people drive you crazy because their behavior is so irrational. Make no mistake about it. Their behavior truly goes against reason, which begs the question, why do you allow yourself to respond to them emotionally and get sucked into the mix? The more irrational and off base someone is, the easier it should be for you to remove yourself from their traps. Quit trying to beat them at their own game. Distance yourself from them emotionally and approach your interactions like they're a science project, or you're their shrink, if you prefer the analogy. You don't need to respond to the emotional chaos, only the facts. They stay away or stay aware of their emotions. Maintaining an emotional distance requires awareness. You can't stop someone from pushing your buttons if you don't recognize when it's happening. Sometimes you'll find yourself in situations where you'll need to regroup and choose the best way forward. This is fine, and you shouldn't be afraid to buy yourself some time to do so. And that's what I did today. And boy, was I relaxed, let me tell you. And think of it this way. If a mentally unstable person approaches you on the street and tells you he's John F. Kennedy, you're unlikely to set him straight. When you find yourself with a coworker who is engaged in similarly derailed thinking, sometimes it's best to just smile and nod. If you're going to have to straighten them out, it's better to give yourself some time to plan the best way to go about it. And if you haven't heard, check out Chris Brady's book, Dealing with Difficult People. They establish boundaries. This is an area where most people tend to sell themselves short. They feel like because they work or live with someone, they have no way to control the chaos. This couldn't be further from the truth. Once you find your way to rise above a person, you'll begin to find their behavior more predictable and easier to understand. They will equip you to think rationally about when and where you have to put up with them and when you don't. For example, even if you work with someone closely on a project team, that doesn't mean that you need to have the same level of one-on-one interaction with them that you have with other team members. You can establish a boundary, but you'll have to do so consciously and proactively. If you let things happen naturally, you are bound to find yourself constantly embroiled in difficult conversations. If you set boundaries and decide when and where you'll engage a difficult person, you can control much of the chaos. The only trick is to stick to your guns and keep boundaries in place when the person tries to encroach upon them, which they will. They won't let anyone limit their joy. When your sense of pleasure and satisfaction are deprived from the opinions of other people, you are no longer the master of your own happiness. When emotionally intelligent people feel good about something that they've done, they won't let anyone's opinions or snide remarks take that away from them. While it's impossible to turn off your reactions to what others think of you, you don't have to compare yourself to others. And you can always take people's opinions with a grain of salt. That way, no matter what toxic people are thinking or doing, your self-worth comes from within. Regardless of what people think of you at any particular moment, one thing is certain. You're never as good or bad as they say you are. They don't focus on problems, only solutions. Where you focus your attention determines your emotional state. When you fixate on the problems you're facing, you create and prolong negative emotions and stress. When you focus on actions to better yourself and your circumstances, you create a sense of personal efficacy that produces positive emotions and reduces stress. When it comes to toxic people, fixating on how crazy and difficult they are gives them power over you. Quit thinking about how troubling your difficult person is and focus instead on how you're going to go about handling them. This makes you more effective by putting you in control, and it will reduce the amount of stress you experience when interacting with them. They don't forget. Emotionally intelligent people are quick to forgive, but that doesn't mean that they don't forget. Forgiveness requires letting go of what's happened so that you can move on. It doesn't mean you'll give a wrongdoer another chance. Successful people are unwilling to be bogged down unnecessarily by others' mistakes, so they let them go quickly and are assertive in protecting themselves from future harm. They squash negative self-talk. And if you can hear me squash it right now. Pow! Soon as you hear it, squash it. Sometimes you absorb the negativity of other people. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad about how someone is treating you, but your self-talk, the thoughts you have about your feelings, can either intensify the negativity or help you move past it. Negative self-talk is unrealistic, unnecessary, and self-defeating. It sends you into a downward emotional spiral that is difficult to pull out of. You should avoid negative self-talk at all costs. And tips on that, check out the book Swing by Dan Hawkins. They limit their caffeine intake. Drinking caffeine triggers the release of adrenaline. Adrenaline is the source of the fight or flight response, a survival mechanism that forces you to stand up and fight or run for the hills when faced with a threat. The fight or flight mechanism sidesteps rational thinking in favor of a faster response. This is great when a bear is chasing you, but not so great when you're surprised in the hallway by an angry coworker. They get some sleep. I've beaten this one to death over the years and can't say enough about the importance of sleep to increasing your emotional intelligence and managing your stress levels. When you sleep, your brain literally recharges, shuffling through the day's memories and storing or discarding them, which causes dreams, so that you wake up alert and clear-headed. Your self-control, attention, and memory are all reduced when you don't get enough or the right kind of sleep. Sleep deprivation raises stress hormone levels on its own, even without a stressor present. That's deep. A good night's sleep makes you more positive, creative, and proactive in your approach to toxic people, giving you the perspective you need to deal effectively with them. They use their support system. It's tempting, yet entirely ineffective, to attempt tackling everything by yourself. To deal with toxic people, you need to recognize the weakness in your approach to them. This means tapping into your support system to gain perspective on the challenging person. Everyone has someone at work and or outside work who is on their team, rooting for them and ready to help them get the best from a difficult situation. Identify these individuals in your life and make an effort to seek their insight and assistance when you need it. Something as simple as explaining the situation can lead to a new perspective. Most of the time, other people can see a solution that you can't because they are not as emotionally invested in the situation. Bringing it all together. Before you get this system to work brilliantly, you're going to have to pass some tests. Most of the time, you'll find yourself tested by touchy interactions with problem people. Thankfully, the plasticity of the brain allows it to mold and change as you practice new behaviors, even when you fail. Implementing these healthy, stress-relieving techniques for dealing with difficult people will train your brain to handle stress more effectively and decrease the likelihood of ill effects. I always love to hear new strategies for dealing with toxic people, so please feel free to share your comments in the section below. More, what my company does, emotional intelligence training and emotional intelligence certification. Follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn. Check out my website or some of my other work here, Travis Bradberry. And that is our EDU for our lives. Yeah. So when we come back, we're going to do some quote for the day. Get on up out of here on the Spirituality Sunday. Stay tuned, y'all. Up next, Tribal Salute. More announcements coming up. Let's go. www.urbanbeatsdaily.com. never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option.
Hey, baby girl, look here, sweet thing. My heart is dancing on the wall from your loving. Girl, I just can't deny. You got me caught.
Larry D. Edwards, Falling in Love.
It's so good to have you in my world. You're mainstream, worth more than a diamond, more valuable than a pearl. Got me back in the game. I thought I was through, and I owe it all to you. Owe it all to you. You got me falling in love with you, baby. You got me falling in love with you, girl. Can't believe I'm at this love thing again. Wanted to fall back, close my heart, and let nobody in. But you came along at a time when I was looking for no one. After all, you showed me I needed someone. But with you, I laid down my guard. No reason to hold up a wall. No, 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 not so far. You came in my life when I needed you the most. Let's pour a glass of love and let's propose a toast. You got me falling in love with you, baby. You got me falling in love. You got me falling in love with you, girl. Ooh, baby, I said you, baby. Falling in love with you, baby. You got me falling in love. You got me falling in love with you, girl. Hey, everybody. I need to make a public service announcement. If you feeling this vibe, I need y'all to listen up right now. Listen up and do exactly as I tell you. Come on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey ladies, get on the dance floor. 1, 2, 3, get on the dance floor. Hey ladies, get on the dance floor. 1, 2, 3, get on the dance floor. Hey fellas, get on the dance floor. 1, 2, 3, get on the dance floor. Hey fellas, get on the dance floor. 1, 2, 3, get on the dance floor. I said, baby, falling in love with you, baby. You got me falling in love. You got me falling in love with you, girl. You got me falling in love again. I can't help myself. Said I can't, no I can't.
Up next, Money Matt made it back.
I told him I'd be back with some fire.
I came right back.
Came right
Know
back.
what it is. I came right back.
Came right back.
I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made my own way, so tell these haters fall back. I hustle hard, never lack. Run it up, never slack. Call my plug, the phone ring.
then I'm right back. I stay on, I never went off, know the consequences. If I get caught, I was taught to mind my peace and watch my cues, don't get it confused. This my choice and ain't no one made me take that pack on the road. Chasing cheese for my babies, I had to get it on my own. So when I'm up and they wanna come with a deal, I'ma tell them call my old phone, cause I came up off my own dough. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made my own way, so tell these haters fall back. My phone pinging when I'm out of state like I've been driving. I told these haters they can't get no water from my hydrant. I beat the tracks all the way down, I'm a tyrant. I sell truth and real, don't mean it can't get violent. One false move and all you hearing is them sirens screaming and crying. I let my demons out the closet, now them bullets are flying. I'm catching body after body. I know more foreign people than the sales on a Bugatti. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made my own way, so tell these haters fall back. People talking checks that they can't even cash. I'm out here on the road for my future, had to do the digi-dash. Broke it down, started from the ground, now you can do the math. What happens when you taking risks, but you out here getting switched on? It's like a two-sided blade when you out here getting snitched on. I'm making the most while I can, I'll put a snitch in the ditch, dog. I'm coming back even harder. Locked hands, got my grip on. These haters moving funny, I had to put the slick on. I'm talking real, so all these fakes, they can go and slip off. I'm racing to the chip, securing that bag, watch me dip off. I get it back so you can get off. My job called Rock Nation, let them know I'm a factor in any situation. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made it back, I came right back, I never lack, I never lack. I made my own way, so tell these haters fall back.
Up next, I Die Without You, Naija.
Hey, I guess it's my turn to see how you were feeling. I had no idea on how much you were dealing with the pain I was putting you through. But karma comes back around, I'm feeling it too. I'm sorry, baby, I apologize. You consumed all my thoughts, now I'm dying inside. Is it my turn to wish you were lying here? I tend to dream you when I'm not sleeping. Is it my turn to fictionalize my world, or even imagine your emotions to tell myself anything? Oh. Is it my turn to hold you by your hand, saying, tell you I love you and you not hear me? My turn to totally understand, to watch you walk out of my life and not do a damn thing, oh no. I had to give away the feeling that I feel. I had to sacrifice whatever
Bruce Van Horn at Bruce VH. No matter how bad you say you want it, if you don't sacrifice to get it, you don't want it bad enough to have it. Steve Keaton, #leadership. Yes, indeed. Gordon Tregold at Gordon Tregold says, the first task of a leader is to keep hope alive. Joe Batten. Yes, Mr. Batten. I love that. Gordon Tregold at Gordon Tregold says, you have achieved excellence as a leader when people will follow you everywhere, even if out of only curiosity. General Colin Powell. Yes, and last but not least, we got, let's see, Bruce Van Horn is on point today at Bruce VH. It's not color, gender, nationality, sexuality, politics, religion, or financial status that separates us. The only thing that separates us is ignorance. And that is our quote for the day. Stay tuned for more episodes. We'll be back on Monday night, 9 p.m. Central. Make sure you stay tuned for new music exclusives and business tips and radio music tips on the award-winning Boss Ladies Radio Show. I am signing out. That's really all I had to say. Good afternoon, morning, and evening. And I will see you soon on the next show. Peace.
We are now transferring you to a customer care rep. Please hold the line and we will answer your call as soon as possible. Thank you for choosing us. By the way, to ensure you're getting great service, your call may be recorded or monitored.